Dota 2, but first I would like to start with this video. It's around 4 minutes long, and the common theme between this video and the game I'm about to show you is quite amazing. So I'm going to have you enjoy this video. Strategy 32 of 36, the Empty Fort Strategy by Zhuge Liang.
像是一座空城。
传令，后军变前军，撤军。
粮草都在城中，为何撤军？
诸葛亮在城中设了埋伏，啊！
如此弹丸小城，即使有伏兵，也并不多。请都督下令。 末将领兵杀进城去。
城中伏兵是不多，可城中之外的山上呢？诸葛亮平生谨慎，从不走险。快撤！撤晚了，山中伏兵就杀出来了。撤！快撤！撤军！
丞相，司马懿退军了。
苍天佑我！
丞相。 为何你轻弹一首琴曲，就能吓退司马懿10几万大军啊？
此人深知我平生谨慎，从不行险。见城门四开，我抚琴独坐，他便深信城中必有伏兵。
天哪！丞相要是弹错一个音符，他们就会冲进来。 把此城踏为平地啊！
司马懿真乃知音啊！
知音？
我若是司马懿，就不会退兵。此处不宜久留，速速带上粮草，尽快离开。
遵命。
Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that video. Now let's head to Dota 2. This is Undying game, 5.3k MMR. I'm playing Undying, and as you see, there's this taunt in the game. Now watch what I do with it. Well, this first blood was a slight miscalculation. I expected Undying to astral me, and for me to use my decay to heal up. But that did not happen, but it's fine. Sometimes you just feed first blood, it happens. We're gonna head a little further into the game so that we can have a better understanding of what's going on, because nothing really happens right now. gonna be focused mostly on my player perspective, because watch what I do. It's very important. Also, there's a Windrunner disconnect that lasts a while. We want to skip this part because it's pretty. Let's see. Skip about 8 minutes into the game. Windrunner has returned. I have 2 deaths, 2 assists. Watch this, right? Just watch how much the simple act of taunting can do to boost the morale of your team and to make the enemy team tilt. Using this taunt, it is strategy. Just like Zhuge Liang played the Zither to ward away Sima Yi. I used this taunt to ward away the enemy. They're afraid. They don't know what's gonna go on. Why is this Undying sitting with no health in the trees? Does he have a plan or doesn't he have a plan? They don't know. That's the mind game. When they don't know, you have all the power. That was a 50-50 chance. Sima Yi saw the bait and he was like, is this a bait or isn't it a bait? I don't know. But let's not take the risk because he knows that Zhuge Liang is a careful person. So when you play the game, keep unpredictable. Don't do the same thing over and over again. If you're doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, you've gone insane. Try new things, change your strategies, adapt, and become a better player. Look at this. 5.3k MMR. I'm just sitting there, 200 HP, taunting, in front of creeps. You gotta make sure they see it. They see this Undying taunting, and they're like, is this guy stupid? Or is he a tactical genius? They don't know. But you know exactly what you are. Change the game. Utilize anything and everything to your advantage. This is war, my friends. Dota 2 is a war between Radiant and Dire. And it is your job to make your side win. So do what it takes. Look at this bait. They go on the OD and they're like, what if this Undying is stupid? They don't know. We have rotations, we rotate, we kill them all. OD sadly dies to Invoker, but look at this. Right? Look what I do. We get a 2-for-1 trade, and I taunt. Keep taunting. Keep dancing. Playing Dota is like a dance. You must be able to flow and move with the game. Look at this taunting. Alright, right now, what you see here is very key. Look at this. People say space making all the time, but I'll show you making space. Watch what I do right here. See this Night Stalker? Check this out. He's trying to kill me. Notice the entire time. Have your finger on that taunt button.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help.
He's demoralized. He's like, well, the Undying literally just taunted me. I'm just gonna ignore him. I'm gonna run away. And he just look at him. Look how he's moving. He's lost. He doesn't know what's going on. He's like, there's an Undying with no mana in like next to our tier 2, just taunting. He doesn't know what's going on. He's like, well, I guess I'll just cast Q on Dragon Knight. I guess that's what I'll do. And check this. Drop the hammer. OD kills them all. Back to Undying. I TP'd back to base. I'm ready to join the fight. Check this out. OD's low? No, he's not. Because I'm here. Undying. Best Undying in the world. Watch this. Look at that block. While taunting. Block 2 players. Sadly, Juggernaut gets away because he was able to escape the block. But you know what? I get the Windrunner. Small side note. I was playing this entire game with a lot of packet loss and high ping. I don't know why, but I was lagging pretty badly for most of this game. And so there were some spells that I could cast quicker, but that's not even relevant because, as you see, with simple mind games, you can change how the enemy plays the game, and you can change how you play the game. Little things like this allows you to make big plays. Keep watch of everything. I wasn't thinking about a lot in this game. You think about messing with your enemy and notice the player perspective, right? It's very centered. It's very focused. That's what you gotta do. Center the camera on your hero. Focus on what you're doing. If it's daunting, if it's dancing, do that. I'm walking here and we're going for a push top. Notice that's when I veered the camera away, but I know I'm keeping your hero safe. Because that's the most important thing. How many times have you guys went into a team fight and you clicked into the team fight looking like, alright, I'm gonna join this team fight, and then before you even know, your hero is dead. Because you're not staying centered. Stay focused on your hero, keep him alive. Because it doesn't matter if you're clicking on that team fight if your hero is dead. Even in a team fight, make sure that you're keeping yourself alive and you're casting spells. And you're hitting your spells. You don't need to have the full view of the fight. You can have it for a split second, but what is most important is your own perspective. And for you to see your hero and your spell range. So you have, the way you move your camera is very important. The way you keep it, the way you position it, that is very important. Little things like this is what's keeping you guys from being better players. Just the small things. Everybody thinks it's the big plays, right? Why can't I make these big plays like Arteezy or Sumail, right? It's not the big plays, it's the little things, it's the minute details. Because they all have that down pat. And you don't even know, right? If these are the things that you have to focus on during the game, then you're not there yet. You don't even need to think about making the big plays. You need to think about the basics, the bare essentials. And after that, then you can start making big plays. As you see this Undying, he's going in, taunting the entire time. Just watch this play very carefully. It's a dancing zombie. That's a dancing zombie, my friends.
Radiant's top tower is taking hits. Radiant's toughened up their structures. One last time.
Alright, you see the TP here? And I'm top lane. Support your teammates. And create a strategy. Create a plan for what do you want to do to win the game. Move through the game and have a purpose. Have a reason. That's what keeps you moving forward. You need to have a purpose. In a game of Dota, as soon as you're lost, like that Night Stalker after I mind gamed him with my taunting and my jukes, he was lost. He didn't know what to do anymore, so he saw a hero and he's like, I guess I'll just cast my spell on him. If you're casting a spell on an enemy hero and you're not doing it without a reason, then you're playing Dota wrong. You're playing the game wrong. Do everything with a reason. I'm here, right? I'm dancing. I'm not dancing because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm dancing to bait. Look at me. I baited the Windrunner in. And we get her. Notice how I positioned myself. Not next to trees. I know that I wasn't going to get shackled. And we go in, and I'm still taunting the entire time. And I come in from behind. Notice the camera. Again, very focused on my hero. The fight's over here, but I'm staying here because I know I'm low. I need to focus on myself because what if something goes on me? I need to be able to react to it. Though how you move the camera is very important because this is your window into the game. This is all you can see at any point in time. So where you place it determines how you see the game. So little things like just clicking on irrelevant things and moving your camera to points that are not important affects your gameplay. It might not be direct, but it affects your gameplay for sure. So things like clicking on your teammates to flame them, or things like clicking on them to see like their items and like flaming their items, stuff like that, that wastes your time. That wastes your mental capacity, and that also wastes your screen time. During that time, you could be looking at something important. You could be looking at the enemy team and deciding what they're gonna do. Instead, you're worried more on what your team is gonna do instead of what the enemy is gonna do. Because your team You can tell them what to do, or you can have influence on what they're gonna do. The enemy team, you don't have that. You can't do that with the enemy team. The enemy team is the enemy team. They are doing everything they can to try to win the game against you. So that's what the focus should be on. You should be focusing on the enemy team, not your own team. Watch any pro player play the game from their player perspective and see how many times they click their teammates. Not many times. That's because you can see what your teammate has through the sidebar. It tells you what item they recently purchased, and you click on them once and you know what item they have. You also know from them using the item. You don't need to be clicking on your teammates constantly and checking on what they're doing. Put trust in your teammates. As a support player, how many of you out there, as a support, while pulling the lane or while doing something, you click at your carry to see if he's hitting his last hits? It doesn't matter if he's hitting his last hits or not, because can you change how he can last hit by looking at him? You cannot. Right? Can you change how he last hits by telling him to last hit better? No. Trust that he knows how to last hit and focus on something else. That's a low MMR player perspective of the game. They're more worried about what everyone else is doing than what they're doing. And that's why people create these terms such as the trench and this MMR hell. MMR hell is only hell if you think it is, or you believe you're in hell. Because as soon as you start putting the blame on everyone else, other than yourself, you're in hell, my friend. Because at the end of the day, you are to blame for being in hell. You are to blame for being in the trench. Because it is this mentality that it is not my fault. This game wasn't my fault. I couldn't have done anything more to win this game. That is what's putting you in the trench. You are putting yourself in the trench. You are putting yourself in hell. Watch this. 5.3k game. All I'm doing is dancing. I'm having fun. Whether I'm losing or winning, have fun. Don't flame people. Don't spread this negative energy. What is the point of spreading all this negativity when you could just be winning games or losing games? It doesn't matter. While trying your best, improving yourself, and having fun. That's the most important thing. Because as soon as you stop having fun, or as soon as you stop enjoying yourself, that's when you lose hope, right? That's when you go, alright, I'm in the trench, I can't get any better. Or I'm in the trench, my teammates are so bad, I can't carry them. It is not that. It's you. Look at what you can do better. All these little tips and tidbits that I put in my videos, you can use and improve your gameplay. Bit by bit. Start small at a time. You can't wake up one day and think that, alright, I'm gonna play like Arteezy. No. It starts with the little things, and it starts with repetition. Doing little things over and over again until it becomes second nature. Just practice last hitting until you can do it without even thinking about it. Right? You shouldn't think about doing something. Think about breathing, or walking, or running. Do you need to think that hard to breathe, walk, or run? Do you need to think that hard to beat your heart? No. That's what it takes. You have to stop thinking, because once you start thinking too much, that's when you start messing up. Think about this, guys. How many times have you tried to do something? Last hitting or anything, maybe playing an instrument, and you start trying really hard to do it. Like, you're really focused, or you're really trying hard, right? You're like, I need to do this, I'm gonna do this, and then you start messing up, right? You start missing last hits, or you start messing up. Why is that? It's because you're thinking too much. If you've already done it, or you already know that you can do it, stop thinking and just do it. That's the most important thing. Because as soon as you start thinking too much, then you start doubting yourself. Because you're like, can I do this or can I not? And then as soon as you start doubting yourself, you stop being able to do it. Don't doubt yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe you can do it. And keep going. Sometimes it happens. Little mistakes happen. But keep going. Don't let them get you down. Little things like that if you let them bother you, you're never gonna be happy. You need to be able to focus. See, right here, I get a haste rune, I run into the enemy, I taunt them. Assert your dominance. That's what this game is about. Asserting your dominance, crushing the enemy's will, and destroying their throne.
Whoa, mega kill.
That's all you gotta do. See? Notice my OD died. I didn't say anything. I didn't type anything. I didn't even look. I'm like, he died. You can't do anything about it, right? If a player on your team died, can you bring him back to life? Is there any way you can bring him back to life? No, you can't. So what I do is I go, alright, looking ahead, what can you do? I put a tombstone on the cliff, and I'm like, they can't reach this tombstone, and I'm gonna run around and I see this Night Stalker. We're gonna go for a kill on the Night Stalker. Meanwhile, the zombies are killing them the entire time. I look at this Nature's Prophet, I'm like, this guy's dead, but you know what? I kill this Earth Spirit, and we get 3 kills, a tower, 4v5. We look at this net worth graph here, and it was in the Dyer's favor at a certain point. And it's still not that much in our favor, but we're taking the right fights, we're doing the right things, we have the right heroes, and we're winning the game. It's because we know that our heroes are strong, we can do it, I'm undying, I'm dancing around, and right here, notice this. They fort, Juggernaut just TP'd back, Windrunner is spawning, Earth Spirit is spawning, and I tell my team to get back, just once, just get back. And I just dance away, right? You don't have to say things many times. The more things you actually say it, the less likely is that gonna happen. Just say things once, but say it confidently, say it clearly, and give them an alternative. I say, guys, get back! The enemy team is respawning. Or get back, Jug just TP'd back. We need to get away. And it just happens. And don't look back. When you committed on leaving, leave. Don't turn back and try to save people when you've already put your decision on leaving. Get as many out alive as possible, unless you realize you can turn and fight. That's very key. You don't want to go back and help a dead player, because if you're trying to help the dead people, you're gonna end up dead too. Don't help the dead people. Let them die. Because stay alive and you'll win the game. If you go in and die with that guy, you're losing your team the game. It's better to have 1 death than to have 3 or 4. Sometimes you just have to accept the fact that your teammate's gonna get caught, your teammate's gonna die, and you gotta let it go. Let it all go. And give alternatives. Alternatives are very important to planning and strategy. If you tell your team to do something and you don't have a reason, or if something goes wrong in the game and the game is not looking so good, well, this game is looking good for us, right? But let's say it's not going so well. Let's Dire team for a second, right? From a Dire team perspective, do they have a strand? Do they have a strategy of how to deal with this? They don't. Look at how they walk. Look at how they move. They're lost. They've accepted defeat. They know the game is lost, and they're just playing like zombies. They don't have a plan. Even if you're in a losing position, have some type of plan. It keeps your mind at work. You don't want to be in this lost state of just playing the game like a zombie. Try something out. Do something to win. And that will improve your gameplay in the next game. Because at least you tried your best in this loss. Try your best even in losses. And you'll be in that mindset. You're in that position to think, to come up with strategies. And that it helps improve your gameplay. Same thing with winning. If you're winning the game, try hard until the end. Don't let it go and you go, alright, we already won this game. Let's just think about the next. No, you're still in this game. Play it until it's over. Keep your mind moving. Keep your thoughts thinking. It's about that flow. As soon as you go, alright, we won this game, I'm gonna not pay attention anymore, you're gonna get in a bad habit of just not thinking, of not being in this state of control. Once you're doing that, you're gonna go into the next game starting in that state. Trust me. Don't do that. Try the game, or try hard in the game until the end. Or you have fun in the end. It doesn't matter. You can dive the pool, but as long as you're planning things, you're doing something. Don't just be like, alright, we won, let's AFK or do something like that. Alright? Keep your mind thinking. Keep your mind active.
Getting swamped.
That's the key. But everything comes
Dyer's
with a
mid-range
right
ain't
balance.
around no more.
If you try to do something too hard, you won't do it. If you don't try at all, you won't be able to do it. It's all about having the middle way. The right balance of trying and not trying. As Yoda said, do or do not. There is no try. So, if you put your mind on something, do it. Or don't do it. Don't half-ass it, right? That's what Yoda meant. Don't half-ass anything. You want to be balanced, but that's not the same as half-assing it, right? You want to put your best in whatever you do. But you want to come into it with the mindset of, I'm going to just let it happen. Just let it happen. And don't force it, but care. Think. Strategize. Be wise. And play the game. Look at this Undying player. They're just getting danced all over. You just last hit the jug. Simple as that. Punched him as a zombie. So what you gotta do. See, the game's over, but look at the enemy team right now. They're mad. Do I know this? No, because everyone's muted. But same as every other team game ever. These players, they're playing the game wrong. Gotta play as a team. I'm playing as a team, and I have all my teammates muted. This is not because I don't like them. This is not because I have anything against them. I have them muted, so I can focus on myself. So I'm training myself. It's like Mr. Miyagi, right? Wax on, wax off. You're doing these things, and you're training. You're practicing. I'm practicing discommunication to improve communication. Think about that. If you're able to communicate without words, you're able to communicate using just the chat wheel or your pings, think about how better you'll be when you'll be able to communicate. That's all it is, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit long, but the game's ending. I buy Aghanims, I steal all their strength. Give me your strength. But this is an Undying game. 5.3k MMR. Easy game. I had 2 deaths, 5-2 and 17. Everyone played well on my team. It all started with a little taunt. This little dance completely changed how the game was played. Be Zhuge Liang. Sometimes you just play the Zither, open up your gates, and the enemy gets scared because they're like, why is this guy playing the Zither and have his gates open? This must be a trap. But it wasn't a trap. Or is it? I hope you enjoyed watching, and have a great day, guys.